Joseph Kennedy was a Washington State public high school football coach who would go to the middle of the football field after a game was over and say a prayer of thanksgiving. The fact that this is also where he sometimes gave the students their pep talks and taught sportsmanship and correct behavior became the center of a problem. He was asked by the district to stop. After this, he prayed silently for about a month with no problems, but then he went back to praying audibly. It was then that he was placed on administrative leave and his contract was not renewed. Kennedy was ruled against by the Federal District Court and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. However, he then appealed to the Supreme Court, which ruled in his favor on a 6-3 decision. The federal court and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals both agreed that the district was just trying to avoid a violation of the Establishment Clause by asking Kennedy to stop praying out loud at the center field, and then they removed him when he did not. The Supreme Court found that his prayers were private and personal, so that meant that the district had violated his First Amendment right to exercise his religious and free speech. The Lyon County School District does not have a direct policy related to praying in school environment. However, they do state, the parties seek to educate young people in the democratic tradition to foster recognition of individual freedoms and social responsibility, to inspire meaningful awareness of the respect for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and to instill appreciation of the values of the individual personality. It is recognized that these democratic values can best be transmitted in an atmosphere which is free from academic censorship and restraints upon free inquiry and learning within the framework of morals and public taste. Lyon County Education Association, 2025. I believe this shows intent to follow the law of the land and would therefore mean that teachers should exercise care when it comes to any religious activities in the classroom, that they do not promote or restrict any religious freedoms. The implementation of the laws and rights and policies and regulations in Kennedy versus Birmingham School District promotes both student and adult success by well-being by reinforcing constitutional balance, protecting individual rights, and providing clear guidance for school leaders and employees. The Supreme Court's decision affirmed that public school employees do not forfeit their First Amendment right to exercise freedom of religion and free speech when they enter the workplace, as long as their expression is personal and does not coerce or pressure students. This supports adults' well-being by allowing educators and staff to act authentically and without fear of discipline for private religious expression, and fostering a workplace climate of respect, inclusion, and morale. This ruling also maintains critical protection for students by making known the importance of voluntariness and absence of coercion by requiring schools to distinguish between private expression and school-sponsored activities, and this decision helps ensure that students are not pressured directly or indirectly to participate in religious activities. This protects students' rights to religious freedom and freedom from coercion, which leads to a safe and respectful learning environment where diverse beliefs are acknowledged. Clear policies aligned with this ruling help administrators set appropriate boundaries, reducing confusion and conflict while promoting consistency in decision-making. Hachia 2022 helps reinforce why this matters when they say educators need to understand the law so they can make decisions that reduce risk and protect students and staff rights. The above outlined action steps promote the core democratic values of individual freedom, responsibility, and respect for diversity, while supporting the educational success and well-being of both students and staff by clearly distinguishing personal religious expression from school endorsement. Administrators should uphold the principles of the government neutrality towards religion. This protects individual freedom by allowing staff and students to hold and express personal beliefs while ensuring that the public school environment remains inclusive and respectful of all viewpoints. Ensuring voluntariness and preventing coercion reinforces individual rights and personal responsibility. Students are empowered to make their own choices regarding religious expression without the fear of pressure or exclusion, which supports emotional safety and belonging. Likewise, staff members are held accountable for exercising their freedom responsibly and recognizing the influence they hold of and their obligation to protect students' autonomy. This balance strengthens trust, fairness, and equity, which are essential elements of a democratic school culture. Prioritizing character education to promote and support human flourishing within the school community is evident through these action steps that intentionally model and reinforce respect, responsibility, and ethical decision making because they are clearly distinguishing personal religious expression from official school endorsement. Again, administrators can demonstrate integrity and fairness, teaching students and staff to respect boundaries and diverse beliefs, making sure that participation in religious activities is a voluntary action further promotes empathy and respect for individual dignity, creating a safe and inclusive environment where all students feel valued. Together, these practices foster a school culture that supports social, emotional, and ethically developed development, enabling both students and adults to flourish. Thank you very much.